Squad won again on Saturday night, dropping Sacramento the final 120-101. So right now, coming out of the gate to start the season, Golden State is 18-0. Pretty impressive. Busy day in the NFL. We will keep you posted throughout. The morning games about to get started. Raiders and the Titans up first, along with the Giants and the Redskins. I'm Jeff Nathanson, NBC Sports Radio, and the NBC Sports Radio mobile app.
This is KCAA.
Is your radio station dull and boring like most corporate-owned stations on the dial? Then it's time to tune to KCAA 1050 AM. It will blow your mind and maybe expand it too. KCAA is your independently owned go-to station in the Inland Empire. It's a veritable cornucopia of crazy, an assemblage of awesome and cool, and it's a little weird too. KCAA pumps out more local and national radio each week than most major networks while offering CNBC business news headlines during the week and NBC sports news on weekends. KCAA is unique, interesting, quirky, and sometimes outlandishly crazy, which adds up to a high volume of awesome. And for you audiophiles, KCAA delivers FM sound quality to our transmitter, which is why KCAA is the best-sounding AM station on the dial. So make your day with KCAA and find us online at kcaaradio.com. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Hi, this is Steve Aladort from Rancho Financial with the Mortgage Minute. This may be the perfect time to move forward with a new purchase. The feds have not yet increased short-term rates. When they do, we expect both rates and property values to increase. Today, you have an opportunity to qualify for a lower payment and more home than potentially even just a few months down the road. If you have VA eligibility, we can do up to 100% financing. We have loans with as little as 3.5% down, less than 20% down without mortgage insurance. Turned down because you can't qualify with your tax returns? We have special programs that we can use your assets to qualify you, and we have just come out with a bank statement program. If you can't qualify with your tax returns but can show income through your bank statements, we might have a loan program just for you. There are many possible options that can make a huge difference in your monthly payments. That's why you need a loan financial planner. Give me a call, Steve Aladort, at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070, or go to loanfinancialplanner.com.
Hey, this is Steve Sanchez, and do you know in 2007, I went off to the doctor for a basic checkup, and he informed me, Steve, you got plaque built up around your heart, and you're going to need stents. I informed him, with no offense, doc, I need a second opinion. I go off to a naturopathic doctor, and he introduces me to something called Zango. It's a juice made of the whole mangosteen fruit. You know, the mangosteen fruit has been used for centuries for healing. So, hey, what do I have to lose? I tried it. 3 months later, I go back to my cardiologist, no plaque, no stents, and I'm proud to say 7.5 years later, I'm stent-free. I want to turn you on to Zango because it's the only true 100% mangosteen fruit juice. It's patented. In fact, the Mayo Clinic is paying attention because they're doing an extensive study because they cannot ignore all the testimonials around the world. I want to give you a free sample of the Zango juice today. Simply call 888-309-5656. That's 888-309-5656 for your free mangosteen juice sample today from the company called Zango.
Chab Dog Sports Talk, a show about dreams.
I wish I was a little taller and could jump. I'd try to help him.
Well, unfortunately, Brandon, you don't have any of it. So.
I'm going to have to get you when I come to Nantucket. You know, we'll go on the basketball court and we'll see who ends up with a pulled groin.
Don't miss the fun every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. with Chab Dog Sports Talk with Brandon Chabner and Mike Patterson on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
many things that held us down. But now it seems like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long way to go. Where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. Gonna put ourselves together, gonna polish up our act. Hey, if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Hey. Don't you let nothing stand in your way. I want you to listen to every word I say, every word I say. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move, yeah. Ain't no stopping us now. We've got the groove. We've got the groove.
All right, Groove. The Groove had us this morning. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Aldous Allen on the case for truth, justice, with the right information to help improve the situation. Empire Talks Back is brought to you by Covered California, not just health care, but life care. West Side Story newspaper, the soul of the empire, and the Improve Association, where referrals are real. Today, we are celebrating champions, as usual. But these champions come from the Inland Empire, and we're going to talk a little bit about them. We're talking about the California Raiders. Best team in the, what's the name of the league, Coach?
NDPFL.
Get a microphone.
NDPFL.
Now, that's a semi-pro league. There's about, 7 teams in your organization? 7 teams in the league?
We have about 9.
Okay, I need you to lead
We have
into a
about
microphone.
10 teams in the league.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 members and a coach of the California Raiders. I also have their number 1 talent scout, number 1 future player, young man. He's how old is he? Anybody can get on the mic.
He's 6 years old.
6 years old. He's playing football. He's coaching.
Now he plays football for the Long Beach Patriots.
Long Beach Patriots. Man, this kid looks like a superstar. I don't know. Is he going to be a football player, an engineer, a doctor, lawyer? Football player, huh? Very good. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Before we get too far into that, I do want to take a moment and celebrate a group of people that I know we're all concerned about. That'll be our veterans. We're going to get a chance to talk about them. I want to take a moment to say hello to Mr. Leonard Evans, our associate host. He's been ill. He's had a reason to go in and allow the doctors to demonstrate their skills, their surgical skills, and they've done a good job. Mr. Evans should be back with us in the next week or so, but we want to salute him, his commitment and his courage, and hopefully his recovery full. That way he can come back in here and cuss me out and do the kind of things that you guys are used to hearing him do. Let me introduce some of the folks that we have here. Let's start down on the far left side here with Maurice. Clyde. Okay, we're not going to celebrate my memory this morning. We're going to we're going to acknowledge the fact that I'm, not the sharpest, especially in this room today, not the sharpest tack. But we're going to work this out. Tell us who you are with the team and what you do with the team.
Actually, I'm
come a little closer to that microphone.
Actually, I'm ex-player slash
former player.
Former player.
Ex, we use those for wives and things like that.
Former player slash defensive line coach.
Defensive line coach.
Right.
Very good. And so how long have you been with the California Raiders?
Actually, I've been associated since 2006.
So you're part of this big championship run that they've had.
I've always been connected.
Always been connected. With championships or the Raiders? Or both?
Raiders.
Okay,
I'm just now being introduced to the championship part of them.
Very good.
Glory to God.
So, as the defensive line coach, what are you bragging about this year? You guys are undefeated. I'm sure that had a lot to do with somebody inspiring you so you could inspire the team.
Well, I'm sure that what we implement is just a lot of discipline and just playing hard and really staying focused. You know, not just on the field, but off the field.
Off the field, okay.
So we had some good players this year, guys that were truly coachable, and we were able to climb some mountains and get over some hills.
And what that means is, in reality, you guys have won your championship, which was that like a southern section, or you just won the championship as a result of being undefeated? You're going to play a championship game on the 14th of November. Is that correct?
Yeah, we played a championship game, and we won a championship in our league.
Right.
And we searching for a national championship contender.
Okay. Have they determined who your competition would be for the championship game?
Right now, we're looking at a team in Brooklyn called the Brooklyn Seminoles. They're #1 in their region, but they haven't been sanctioned as of yet. We're working on it as we speak.
Okay.
We reached out to a couple other teams, but they're already playing championship games.
Kind of scared of you guys, huh?
I think so.
I believe that too, because you guys have not only a great a team and a great record and a tradition of winning, you also come from an Inland Empire.
Right.
You're playing in the Inland Empire. We don't lose. Well, we lose a little bit, but we gain it back. You know, that's the main thing. What's the Inland Empire connection with you guys as players? Your name again, and introduce yourself and the position you play with the team.
My name is Maurice Ross. I'm a player/coach/player personnel. I do a little bit of everything, trying to bring this thing together. I've been with the organization since its conception. Actually, we started off in Banning and then brought our way back to San Bernardino. We've been to 5 championships, won 4, arguably won 5, but that's not
okay. Yeah, we can.
decide.
We're on the radio. We can beat up the referees and the officials. You know, that's not the right, especially the ones that you used last year and the year before.
Oh yeah, they hate us.
Yeah, we're very kind to the referees that are going to be playing or coaching or refereeing in the championship game. We think they've got good sense, but some of the old ones, we can talk bad about them.
Yeah, I mean, we can't let the referees win games.
No, because that's why they wear those uniforms. They don't want to be mistaken for players, right? But we do have to admit that it's important to have some kind of regulator around, because if we don't, sometimes things could get a little out of hand. Next to you, Maurice, we have
Kevin Adams from the California Raiders.
And Kevin, what position do you play? What's your role with the team?
I play defense, and I'm also a defensive captain on the team.
Very good. So, and introduce the young man. Your name, sir?
My name is Dwayne Cross Jr. I'm a wide receiver/quarterback with the team.
Receiver and quarterback. Have you ever thrown yourself a touchdown pass?
Not yet.
I understand that. I've seen some video.
You've thrown other team a pass or two.
Yeah.
It happens.
Okay, here we go. All right, nothing like a little signifying to keep everything real. We're going to take a very short break. This is Empire Talks Back. I am Wallace Allen, and I'm talking this morning with the California Raiders, this team that represents California, Southern California, as the champions in their division, and they're looking for a challenger for a championship game. That doesn't mean you guys sitting over there in the pool room try to put the team together and come challenge these guys, because you will get yourself skinned up, and that's not what you want to do. This is Empire Talks Back. Wallace Allen. We'll take a short break and be right back.
Imagine that you're among the 4 out of 5 people who received help paying for quality health coverage through Cover California at the lowest possible cost. Imagine seeing a doctor for everyday aches and pains, unexpected emergencies, and preventative care. Imagine receiving help finding a health plan that's absolutely right for you and your family. Imagine not having to imagine.
Covered California. It's more than just health care. It's life care. Visit CoveredCA.com to find free, local, in-person help, or enroll online by December 15th to have coverage by January 1st.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
KCAA, where every day is a great day. KCAA, Loma Linda.
This is Empire Talks Back. I am Wallace Allen on the case for truth and justice with the right information to help improve the situation. A couple of weeks ago, we celebrated Veterans Day. And I want to give a short shout out to our veterans. You know, the common thing we'd say is thank you for your service. Something I'd like to suggest that we add to it is, and we still need you. Most of our armed services personnel are probably used to hearing the thank you for your service part of our headline, especially during the days before and after Veterans Day. But consider this. As we look at the second phrase there, and we still need you, as we consider the poor condition of the country's infrastructure, our streets, bridges, highways, and dams, we can be sure that every natural disaster has the potential to be very, very tragic. We also know that the structure of family and community is constantly challenged and evolving under the influence of low and no wage, corruption, and if not lawlessness, we can certainly agree that we have biased law enforcement. All of the above are reasons to add the "we still need you" phrase to this article's headline when we encounter a veteran. Their training and love for America has been proven by their initial service. They have put their lives on the line for an ideal. Freedom and fairness is what they fight for. Many come home from this fight wounded either physically or emotionally, which translates to unfinished business. They need to be included and valued for the rest of their lives. Their knowledge and proven commitment make them very, very valuable assets, as among other things, they can help us with emergency response, youth counseling, and public safety coordination. I purposefully exclude police work from that list. Combat veterans should not be allowed to become police officers because the gun on their hip as a military personnel person is a problem solver. Our police need to depend on the gun as a last resort. Our combat veterans should never have to worry about health care, income, housing, or educational opportunity for the rest of their lives. Yes, I think they become entitled to these things as a result of risking their lives for our country and you and me. Requesting our veterans to serve as responder volunteers, community organizers, and public safety coordinators as a continuum to their service is reasonable and a great public benefit. However, if they choose not to make that contribution or make themselves available for that, they should still get their entitlement never to work again, unless they want to. There are many veterans providing public service in the form discussed. They're doing their job. There are still many veterans who are jobless, homeless, and or alone. Veterans who are waiting for medical care or a friend to step up. That true statement suggests that we, the ones that the veterans risk their lives for, are not doing our job. Veterans are special, and combat veterans are very special. America, we need to step up. I ask you, gentlemen, were any of you veterans, members of the service? You, like me, have said no, not yet. Some of you are still young, and some of us have other levels of means of providing our service. But we do need to respect our veterans and give them a little bit more support than we're giving them now. The fact that we have veterans seeking medical service is ridiculous. The fact that our country provides a training and development place for our military officers. You've got West Point, you've got Annapolis, you've got the Air Force Academy, but we have no place where we train doctors specifically to serve these veterans and the illnesses and ailments that they come home with. That's ridiculous. We need to step up America. And I'm not just talking about you thinking about it as you drink your coffee or worrying about it as you drink and eat your dinner. I'm saying we need to write letters to our congressmen, to our senators, and get them to provide for the veterans some of the benefits that they have for themselves. Check it out. your senator, your congressman, they're well taken care of for a few moments of, in most cases, corrupt service. We need to step up, protect our veterans, those people who've protected us. If you disagree with that, you give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. If you agree with it, don't waste your time calling me. Call your congressman or your senator, and let's get this thing done. All right. I'm back. That was my rant for the day. Well, I'm not going to say for the day. I may do it again. But at this point, I do want to get back over and acknowledge some local people who are doing some things to bring the name of San Bernardino, the Inland Empire, back to the prominence that it's supposed to have. And we don't mind getting that off your backs. You guys go out here and win this big game, create this big game, and believe me, everybody's going to be a California Raider fan. And so we do appreciate that, what you're doing. Tell me, there's many issues that people are discussing as they talk about football. If we can, get a little bit off of the fact that you guys are the greatest semi-pro team here in California. There's some other issues that the world of sports is concerned with. Some of it has to do with concussions, the protocol for concussions. I'm sure that you have something that you do, I hope, in terms of how you acknowledge and recognize the safety of your team members on the field. There's the question of, with our college ranks, should college players be getting paid for their services, for the millions of dollars that they bring into the colleges? Should they not get some of that? And then there's the unspoken power beyond just the money. We saw recently the football team at Missouri, University of Missouri, challenge that their president of the college wasn't doing enough to fight racism on campus, and they threatened to boycott playing unless the president was retired or was fired. So that's a pretty heavy statement, something for you guys to think about. Can we bring Mr. Lilly on the line, please? Jamal, are you there?
Yes, Wallace. Good morning. How
Good morning. Fine. How are you, my friend? I don't know if you were able to hear that our friend Mr. Evans is having a successful recovery from brain surgery. And they found a little bit too much brain in there, and they thought he'd give us a little advantage and move some of it out so that we'd be able to compete with him. So I'm hopeful about that part of it and his recovery, but I don't know if I had passed that information along to you. But,
no, I just heard you say, you alluded to it just in the opening today.
Yes.
And yes, we wish Brother Leonard a speedy recovery. We hope he's listening.
Very good.
And we hope you're doing well, Leonard, if you are listening.
And Jamal, I have with me today 4 or 5 representatives of the California Raiders. We have a couple of coaches, a coach player, and a quarterback receiver, and a defensive end. That's not the whole team, but these guys look strong enough to represent if there was some absences. You guys, what is it? Is there still 3-man football, 5-man, anything like that? You guys play any of that?
Nah.
That's good. Okay. Well, semi-pro. Are you guys happy with your money? Coach Radden the owner might be listening. If this might be a good time to say something about you.
Actually, with the semi-pro, we pay to play.
You pay to play?
Yeah, so we're not getting paid for this. We're doing it for the love of the game, or maybe get an opportunity for some of the younger guys to get to college or AFL team or something equivalent.
Very good. So that is a testament to your commitment to the game and your desire to play. That's excellent. How have things worked out in terms of team members in the past being able to use this as an entryway back into the big league? Has that occurred for any of your teammates? This is a development league. Have we been able to take advantage of that?
A few of us have. It's just that with the semi-pro, getting a negative. Just a negative thing as it being semi-pro, as a whole. Us as players have to do our part as far as conducting ourselves on the sideline, being disciplined on the football field, giving pro teams a reason to come and check us out and not look at us like an organized adult Pop Warner or something of that nature. So it's up for us players to really put ourselves in a position to be looked at for a higher organization or opportunity to do something different.
So you guys probably, if we were to look at college and the big pro, you guys probably have to exercise a bit more discipline in between those two spots in order to, because you're no longer college and you are not in the NFL, but you would like to be, and you probably have to stand a larger and heavier test as the semi-pros in order to ever get into the NFL, which to me means that for us who like to watch good football, we probably are missing some of the best football if we're not coming out to the semi-pro games. And especially with the fact that you guys are not charging, $150 a ticket, right? Right. So we've been missing games if we haven't been coming out to watch you guys play. Where do you play your home games?
At San Bernardino High School.
San Bernardino High School. That's a very nice stadium. How's the turf up there? It's real grass, right?
Yeah, we got real grass.
Real grass. So if you guys, when it rains, you get to play in the mud, and that's real football to me.
Yeah, it's a real gridiron.
Right, kind of like the way I guess the Thanksgiving game was with Detroit and who did they play? It was the Packers and Chicago that played in the rain and in the nasty stuff. Yeah, that's real football. I say that because I was raised in Illinois. When I came to California, I was really happy to find that we played in the sunshine and and that people came to the games and stuff like that. What are some of your favorite moments? What are some of the things you're looking forward to? And when will you know who the team is that you're going to play for this championship?
We're not sure as
Okay.
far as what team we'll be playing and when we'll play this team. We just won our championship, so we're looking to have a team on the schedule for January.
Okay.
Hopefully January or beginning of February. But right at this time, we just have a couple people we reached out to, but not sure if or when this game will be actually played. But I think we're shooting to play in Vegas somewhere around January.
Very good. What can we do here to help support that, or make it happen a little bit quicker, or make it happen better? Is there anything we can do?
I mean, right now it's not too much that
we can help you celebrate. You guys having a party,
yeah,
we can come out to that.
And we will we'll inform you guys. We want to have a celebration of some sort to celebrate this championship.
Well, let us know before you actually set it up. Maybe we can help sponsor and put together some sponsors that will take a little pressure off you guys and show you how much the Inland Empire appreciates having champions in its midst.
And that's one thing that we lacked. We've been winning championships for a while now.
Right.
So fan support is something that we really haven't had, especially it being something positive that we're bringing back to the community. We have a lot of players on the team that's from all walks of life that come together on these Saturdays to play this game together as one, and we don't have the support that we need in order to make this a big thing in San Bernardino. We've won 4 championships here.
Right.
And not to be recognized as a championship team or a team doing something positive on and off the field. We've done charity events. We've done things outside of the organization or just playing football that we should, as a team and as an organization, be recognized for. Or at least be backed by the community.
Right.
And that will give us a reason to play harder, to dedicate ourselves more to the game if we know that we have fans that's coming out, bringing kids, bringing family to enjoy what we do on this football field.
Very good. Any of you guys grow up here in the Inland Empire, play ball here in the Inland Empire?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. I pretty much spent a large part of my life in Riverside. I'm originally from San Francisco.
Okay.
But lived in Riverside for quite some time.
Did you play high school ball in Riverside?
Yeah, I went to John W. North High School.
Okay. They have a pretty good team over there?
I mean, we did. I'm not too sure how it's looking right now, but when I was there in the years prior to that, we were that team to be reckoned with.
Very good. Very good. You had something to say? Yeah, you did.
He always talking about his team was a force to be reckoned with.
Just saying.
That's right.
He threw 17 interceptions in 3 games.
Well, somebody
Really?
somebody caught the ball.
Really?
Now
I'm just playing.
No, he's
now they North always have a good team. My high school actually just lost in the semis Friday. I went to Cajon High School.
Oh, you went to Cajon, so you said.
I graduated from Cajon.
Okay, and when year did you graduate?
2000.
2000.
Yeah.
Very good. Did you guys play John W. North? Did you guys play them in high school?
Nah, they ducked us.
And what do you have to say about that part?
Well, I can't go that far back because that was before my time. I graduated in 05.
Oh, so he's an old guy and you're a young guy. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. I don't know the past times.
Joe, you ready to dump there in case we get any language that because I'm trying to get them fired up.
Right.
Let's see.
Working on it.
I'm working on it. Yeah. So, Mr. Defensive End, where did you play ball?
I played at Rialto High.
Rialto, that's Inland Empire.
Yeah, I played at Rialto High a couple of years. I graduated from John Muir in Pasadena, but I had some great years at Rialto High. I ran into a bunch of great players, great coaches.
Really? Name some of them.
My defensive coach name was Lonnie Miller, and his son was Lonnie Miller Jr. He went to Rialto High, then he went to Kaiser, and he ended up going to Fresno State, and he played for the Raiders.
Excellent.
And then we had Ryan Grace Mullins that was there, and he went to Hawaii. He went for track, and he became one of the premier receivers there, number one. And he went to Chicago. He went to the Bears. And we played with a couple of guys. It was really great. So
very good.
I met a lot of great people out here.
Very good.
I ran in. Even doing that, my journey to playing football, man, I run into this guy, which I look up to as a big brother. You know what I'm saying? He taught me a lot coming in.
Now I see you pointing, but they don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, it's Maurice Ross, the guy sitting next to me. He's like a big brother. You know what I'm saying? I call him Big Bro because he always looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? He always told me what I needed to hear. He never sugarcoated anything. He kept it real. And then I ran into everybody else on the team, which my boy sitting next to me, Dwayne Cross, and our defensive coach. Our defensive coach sitting here. He's also, a great, asset to the team. He teaches us a lot. You know what I'm saying? He always got our back, and he always let us know what he see. And us coming together, playing like we play. Like he said, we've been winning for a while. We play for each other. You know what I'm saying? Even if the fans ain't there, we play for each other because it's all about family. You know? And we look at each other as family. Our core group is like family. So, I mean, to do it every year when we come out and do it again, as long as we all there, you know what I'm saying? I feel like can't nobody touch us.
Right. Well, speaking of family, our radio family would like for us to take a short break. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen, on the case for truth and justice with the right information to help improve the situation. We'll be right back.
Did you know Cover California can help you find a low-cost quality health care plan that's absolutely right for you and your family? Did you know there's coverage for unexpected emergencies and everyday aches and pains? Did you know free preventative care like blood pressure and cholesterol screenings are also provided to stop small problems from getting bigger? Well, now you know.
Covered California. It's more than just health care. It's life care. Visit CoveredCA.com to find free, local, in-person help or enroll online by December 15th to have coverage by January 1st.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Right back with the West, that's the way it goes. Baby, you send me
Empire Talks Back. Throw me the damn ball. we have a quarterback and a quarterback who's also a receiver. We have a coach player receiver who is still inspiring and coaching the quarterback receiver. And one of the things said during the break was he would be a much better quarterback if he threw me the ball.
Right.
This is if you don't play ball and you sit around and get in a conversation with people who do play ball, you'd walk away and say, wow, those are some of the most arrogant, but listen, folks, I don't see how you could strap up to go play any kind of sport if you didn't feel that you were going to win. If you didn't feel that you were going to put in more effort than the next guy because you worked harder than the next guy. And there's a certain amount of arrogance you've got to have in order to pick yourself up off the ground after somebody has put one on you. And if you play ball, you're going to have someone put one on you. Let's run down the line and see what you remember about the time when someone put one on you, if you feel like talking about that, because sometimes, those are the things we don't like to remember and certainly don't want to talk about, but somebody else will bring it up anyway, so you may want to be the first one to talk about it.
With a quarterback like this, Dwayne Ross, you're going to take one.
Now, we're talking about champions now.
Yeah.
These guys are giving it to you real. This is what the family fun is about. You guys are in the locker room sitting around while we're talking, while we're eating a piece of turkey sandwich that somebody's brought back, and we're doing a little friendly analysis of each other. Now, go on and tell me about.
Yeah, playing with a quarterback like Dwayne, you're going to take one. He a run-happy quarterback. I'm not going to say he not. But
is he a good runner?
He's a good runner. He's a great runner. Very good. We won a lot of games behind him running the ball. But I think sometimes he gets so run-happy and forget that he have a receiver like myself out there that he can
somebody
throw the ball
who's got a magnet the ball and you just got a relationship.
But the problem is he know that I'm going to go up and get the ball, so he's just going to throw it in the location. And a couple of times he got me hit, and I cussed him out. But,
But you held on to the ball.
I'm going to hold on to the ball. But all in all, man,
is that true? Does he hold on to the ball?
Some of the time.
So he going to try to give you back. He learned.
He will come down with the clutch passes that we actually needed to move the ball and come down and come away with the win. Some of the times I'm like, okay.
He a lie. It's been plenty of time. I got a conversation from a quarterback that I said, why you didn't throw me the ball? It was wide open. He said, man, you was too far down the field.
So in other words, my arm is too weak to keep up with your speed.
Hold on, I don't know about that now. Let me piggyback on that.
Yeah, square me
on this
away,
particular play he's talking about.
Oh, you remember the play?
It was a jail. Yeah, I remember it vividly because I ended up with a mild concussion afterwards. But it was basically a jailhouse blitz where they just brought the house. So I'm running around for my life in the backfield.
So people from the stands came down into the field.
And I was already open before he got in the backfield.
It seemed like it. And like he said he was already open before they got in the backfield. But how can I see him when I got all these people in my face? And so I'm not able to plant my feet and launch the ball as far as I know I can. I'm on the run, so I can't, flip my shoulder around to get it over there.
Because you need to be squared up to throw the ball.
Exactly. And throwing the ball accurately and with distance, it's all in your leg. It comes from your legs. And when your legs are moving around trying to get away from being hit,
you don't have the foundation to throw the ball.
Exactly.
No, it's because he skipped leg day.
He skipped leg day.
That's what happened.
I never skipped leg day.
But you said something. You said something in your response about you had a mild concussion.
Yes.
And let's get serious here, or more serious for a minute, because he's very serious talking about the concussion, mild concussion. This is what we'll say. Well, I had a mild concussion. A mild concussion, a major concussion, a concussion is a concussion. What's your protocol with the concussion? We had a game the other day where, under the new rules of the protocol for the NFL, that they've got a special person. Their job is just to watch players to see if anybody's acting strange. They had a guy, and I forget who it was, but he was in pretty bad shape. They let him go back in the game. And everybody's admitting now that there was an error on the part of the watchers, the people who are supposed to be concerned about that, in the heat of the game. Let's go back to your concussion, your mild concussion. Did you feel that you couldn't go in the game, or did somebody have to tell you that you couldn't go back in? Or did you go back in?
Well, the thing about that particular play, it just so happened to be the closing moments of the game.
Okay.
And, that...
So the question of going back in the game or the question of protocol didn't really come up in that issue?
Not really. But there was a protocol that was taking place on afterwards, once I was seen crawling around and then stumbling trying to walk off the field. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up having to be helped off by two of my teammates. And Coach Radden administered the concussion protocol, basically the obvious signs of it, which would be, your eyes not being able to follow a moving object in close proximity, and like slurred speech and things like that. That was just basically what it was, because I felt like I was just dizzy.
Just had your bell rung.
But that was basically it right there.
Well, see, and I guess that's especially dangerous at the end of the game. Everybody's celebrating. Some people are rolling around on the ground in celebration. To notice that you're having a problem was very sharp by Coach Rad there. That's important. This young man here wants to play football. He's 6 years old.
He played tackle football.
He's playing tackle football now. When I was young, way back, my first interest in football came as a result of playing flag. And I have to think that, some of my greatness was derived from playing flag, because I found that I had some speed. I found that I had some evasiveness, things that I didn't really know before, because I had played baseball. You run a straight line, hit the ball, run in a straight line. And it was a lot safer. As we look at the potential talent with him and playing him, the 6-year-old, your name again, sir? Brooklyn. Are you from Brooklyn? Anybody in your family from Brooklyn, New York? When you get real famous, that's gonna be one of the interesting things to talk about, is how you got your name Brooklyn. So if you don't know right now, ask your parents, get the story. If their story's not good enough, come see me, and we'll make up another one that has a little more glamour and glass to it. All right, and that way I can be part of your history and part of the credit, and maybe one of the people you split the millions of dollars with.
Right.
I was just kidding. You
got to talk to Dad.
Where's Dad?
I'm Dad.
You're Dad. Yeah, I know we can get it going. I'm gonna make Dad look good too. We're gonna work this thing out.
Most definitely.
Okay.
I mean,
but in terms of concussion, things of that sort, what we're talking about. How do you deal with that part of it, knowing that he's going to be good? You're telling him not to stick his head in, but we do that, don't we?
I mean,
Mr. Defensive End, we stick our head in there, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And I know when I was playing, I was told not to, but then there was a point later on, and I'm hearing people say, stick your head in there. You got good helmets now.
I mean,
that's not the good thing to do.
As we talk about it, if you really look back on it, you really didn't hear too much about concussions.
No.
Like in the past 3-4 years is when they really start implementing the concussion. Don Beebe came out with the double helmet on, looking like Dwayne.
Without a helmet on.
Exactly, without the helmet. But it's something that just now became. I know it happened before. Like I've had a concussion before in my earlier years, but because the athlete that I was, nobody couldn't tell me that I couldn't go back in the game. So I wasn't sure how severe it was, or if it affected me now or later on in life.
Maybe it just gave the other guys an even chance.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's how you feel when you're an athlete. You really do. You think that you are invincible until you maybe I need a rest right now, but I'm ready to go back in here and even things out. Prior to the last 4 or 5 years, we'd have to expect that there were concussions. Maybe they weren't discussed as much. Yeah, Coach, come on in. Take that microphone.
I've been around for a while, and it's not something that's just started, believe it or not. Because when I was in high school back in 1973, I suffered a concussion. And immediately afterwards, they had already been in the process of developing a new type of helmet, which was called a water helmet.
Oh, y'all had the leather one.
Actually, it was rather helpful, and believe it or not, because it took a lot of the shock off the hits.
Yeah.
And again, right now it's just really public. And a lot of people are concerned about it, but believe it or not, the NFL and other areas of football has always been concerned about that.
We're going to take a very short break, and we'll come back on that. I have a few friends who play professional ball. One of them, Mr. Wesley Grant, whose team, college team, UCLA, lost yesterday to USC. Wesley, I know I didn't need to put all of that in to discuss you, but, I know it disgusts you to lose like that, so I have to discuss your disgust. That's pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty good.
Wesley is not a victim of concussions, but his hips and his knees and then ankles. He was a lineman, played for 4 different teams, and one of them he spent the most time with the New York Giants. My interest in what takes place with the health of ex-ballers goes along with my love for Wesley Grant, my friend. And the suffering that he's gone through, the suit that he initiated to help ballers, football players get acknowledgement and recognition of their pain is important. And those are the things that really make me look back at the NFL and say, yeah, there were concussions, but maybe the reason we didn't hear about it was because it was financially beneficial to the teams to not discuss that. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and continue our concept of responsible discussion about things that we have fun with. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. We'll be right back.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
E-Digits. Lock them in for more information, recreation, and guaranteed fun. KCAA.
This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. We are talking this morning with the California Raiders. 3 team members, a coach and 1 player coach, as well as a young man whose father is part of the team. And as a result, father's doing, quite a bit of bragging up in here. But Dwayne is going to kind of keep him under control. They've challenged each other to a foot race during the break. I don't know if you folks have time to get down here and see the race, but they are discussing, 100 yard, or was it a 50 or 100 or what?
Well, we can do 100 because Dwayne is only fast for 20 yards.
Oh, okay. See, folks, in case you thought I was kidding, you have definitely heard that the challenge is down.
I don't know what he's talking about. I get faster as I go on.
In the championship game, I can recall he was on a breakaway and he got snatched from the back. So
no. Wait a minute. There's some serious conversation here. You mean the man was broke away?
He broke away.
Headed out for the touchdown.
Headed out for the
Oh,
touchdown.
now we got witnesses.
And blew a flat tire.
I'll let them finish and then I'll tell you what really happened.
Maybe he threw a rod.
No, he's just slow.
Watch his excuse. It's gonna be like, my hamstring tight.
No, it's not an excuse.
I've had the hamstring problem.
arguing with my girlfriend.
I've had the hamstring problem. And then again,
girlfriend.
but there's people up in the stands who be haters. Somebody might have threw something.
Nah, he the type of player. You right. He'll hold his hamstring after the play, but then he's walking perfectly fine on the sideline.
I'm going to talk to him because he's a quarterback. He's a quarterback. Everybody knows a quarterback is a leader on the team, and we know that disgruntled receivers might say anything when they haven't been getting the ball enough. So I'm going to give him a chance to tell us how it really happened, Dwayne.
Now that all the laughs and giggles are out the way.
No, well, they're not all gone. They just been kind of muted.
On this particular subject.
Okay.
Now, what happened was we were on the what?
Now you ask him a question. You're not going to like the answer he gives you.
Well, he was on this play.
He said 3, but it was more like the 30. Proceed.
Nah, I don't know.
Proceed.
We were back on about the 3-yard line. Right. Caught a 15-yard dig route. He happened to throw a key block, and I took it.
Wait, hold on. Stop. Who threw the key block? Say the name.
I just said Maurice Ross threw the key block. Even though he wouldn't have caught me anyway because he's slow, but he was still a key block. But anyway.
Did he throw the key block in front of you or behind you?
He saw it.
Well, after I caught the ball, the guy, the defender who was guarding me happened to be behind me. And once I caught the ball, he was in pursuit of me. And the route that Maurice was running was a crossing route, which ran him basically right into.
By accident, or do you think he threw a good block on purpose?
Well, the route brought him into the vicinity.
Was I going to throw that block?
He threw the block.
It was
once
a good block.
He saw that I caught.
Very good. Very good.
Now, after stiff arming one dude and then turning up the sideline. Hey, I got the clip on my phone in my pocket.
Oh, in your pocket.
So,
good.
Anyway, after we were having practice for about a month at this point.
The story.
What story? This is what happened. Anyway,
this
is no build-up. This is actually what happened. But anyway, after that, I'm turning up the sideline, and I turn on my jets, and then all of a sudden, then all of a sudden, my leg locked up.
Oh my
And
goodness.
then the cornerback on the opposite side of the field had the angle, and he just pushed me out of bounds.
But
I
see,
didn't get caught from behind by anybody.
There is a precedent for that. I don't know if you remember the great Tommy Smith, the man who ruled the 200 meters for years, who was 1968. Okay, Tommy was running a race, and this was the time when he ran about a 19.4 in a relay, and he said he probably could have broke 19, but he felt like he was getting ready to throw a rod, and so he slowed down. So I'm just same thing.
Tommy was great. What are you talking about? Dwayne.
Receiver
/ quarterback.
Throwing a ride. Dwayne is part of a championship team.
Dwayne is. That's my boy.
I understand that, we're going to have issues that, we may not all agree.
And also one of the top 10 wide receivers in California.
My goodness. Now, so we're going back to, can you throw yourself a pass and catch it?
No, you're right. No.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. We need to kind of let this information. We need to let that kind of settle for a moment here. Let's get back over to our discussion about the reason that many athletes go beyond when they're hurt. They don't want to let people know they're hurt, and you were discussing this in the break a little bit. Can you go back through that?
It's a lot of pride, and
now we just heard the pride.
Right.
We just heard the pride.
To those type of injuries, and sometimes when we're out there, we may not be totally got hit and been actually unconscious. We're still able to maneuver and move around and get stuff done, but the injury is there, and a lot of guys would, want
to play through
weakness for them to say, "Oh man, I need to leave the field," and then times where guys would lose their positions, because the thing is to keep these other guys that you compete with every day in practice off the field. So people really go out of their way and they suffer in their injuries by staying on the field,
trying to keep their position.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Because there is this undercurrent of competition constantly, even amongst good teammates, where you keep each other on point, you keep each other challenged to the point that you want everybody to bring their best to the field. You want everybody to be their best while they're on the field, and what you've just said is that everybody who's on the field wants to stay on the field because they don't want the person that's been watching them be good, that second string player, to come in and replace them. Because one of the things that the second string player has that the first string player doesn't is he's got the first string player to look at and learn from. And he can learn and demonstrate what he's learned while the first string player is on the sidelines. That's not something you guys want to have happen. You want to be on the field.
What I also learned is that we went through injuries too.
Yes.
And sometimes we don't know how severe they are, but a lot of times we fight to stay on the field because our brothers that's out there, it's not even about the guy coming in. Not saying that he can't do the job, but I know that we've been here, we've been battling through it, and you never know, it might be the last game or we might be in the middle of the season, but I know that if who's to say how threatening this injury is, but I never leave my boy hanging,
Right.
I always got his back. And if I feel like I can get up and go, I've done it before.
Because there is a reason that you were first string.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's a reason that we are who we are, you know what I'm saying? You got scout team, and you got people who do things, and that's why, they when you come in, they'll say, with his backup, he's not clicking with the starters because he's on the scout team, and that's chemistry. Everything is chemistry. So when you got a defense and like we got, and we all work together, we know each other, we know each other's tendencies and what we gonna do and what we ain't gonna do, we know each other's calls. To miss one piece, it takes 11 guys to be that. You know what I'm saying? And that missing
the puzzle's
that one
not
link,
complete.
Exactly.
If you've got a piece
the train can derail.
That's
so
right.
we need every piece on there. So if you can go, we encourage each other to go. If you can't, we understand. We'll make up for that. But if you can go and you can shake it off, hey, we get up and do it. I mean, that's why we play the game. That's the love of the game. We know this is a brutal game. It's a game of savages, and that's why we play it. You know, it separates the man. You know, it separates the strong from the weak.
And just to piggyback on that, Coach Kcaa, he came in 2006. You know, and we had a great team. They said we was the greatest show on grass. You know what I mean? But I played a position as a team captain, a team leader. Play receiver, and you know I broke my ribs against one of the better teams, the Steelers, whatever. But
I just got a call from one of the Steelers. He said he broke your ribs.
Nah, it wasn't him. Actually, it was a bad pass thrown. I dove out for and landed on top of his helmet. But you know, I didn't want to come out the game. And
time is really short on us, and I've really enjoyed this. But Dwayne, you had something you wanted to say.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I suggest to anybody that's interested in playing football is to learn the game correctly.
Right.
You know, it's a way to tackle.
Yes.
And to keep yourself safe. It's a way to run and keep yourself safe. And again, you know, I like some of the things that they implemented in the NFL. You know, you have some serious minded people out there that really play the game to hurt you.
Right.
So you have to really, really be careful of that because, you know, you have all kinds of football players and they are driven for different reasons.
Right.
So
and some guys will play dirty ball.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no holding back on that. There's some guys who will play dirty ball. We have a caller, a fan, wants to say something about the Raiders. Let me see if we've got a lover or a hater. We can handle either one. Give us you've got about 30 seconds, ma'am, sir. Hello. Raider football fan? Raider football fan. Pull Jamal back up. Hello, Raider football fan.
Yeah, hello.
Well, speak up. I mean,
can you hear me?
You get your ticket free, you'll pay for it. Then you got to pay for this ticket with some information. Say something.
I can't. Are you talking to me, Mr. Wallace?
Oh, this Coach Rad, huh?
That's
Coach Rad.
Hey, you know you can get a ticket free anytime for me.
You know, I'm just saying. I didn't know if you had to buy a ticket or something. I just said when you call in, you got to be ready to talk. I mean, but this is Coach Rad. You know, if you don't want to say nothing, we give you a moment of silence. Coach Rad, Coach Rad is listed as the owner of the team. I know that he's the #1 fan. Coach Rad, you got 30 seconds. Tell us something.
Hey, you know what? I just want to thank you for having us on the air, man, and bringing in recognition to the IE for the California Raiders and those young men that you have there and the coach. They've been with us a while and doing great things.
Coach Rad, your phone is underwater. I hope you're not. God bless you. Thank you. We'll see you next week. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen on the case for truth, justice, with the right information to help improve the situation. And we'll be here next week under 2 circumstances. Number 1, if the good Lord's willing. Number 2, if the creek don't rise. Hey, go see a Raider game. I know you can stay tuned here, and I'll let you know when the next one is. But they're our Inland Empire champions, and we salute you and thank you for joining us this morning. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's been so many things that held us down, but now it seems like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long way to go. Where we'll end up, I don't know, but we won't let nothing hold us back.
This is 1050 AM KCAA Loma Linda and 106.5 FM Yucaipa.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
NFL scoreboard, let's check it out right now. Raiders lead the Titans by a score of 7-6. That's in the second quarter of action. Marcus Mariota to Craig Stevens for Tennessee. Derek Carr to Michael Crabtree for the touchdown for the Raiders. Also in the second quarter, it's Kirk Cousins hooking up on a bomb with Deshaun Jackson. Redskins leading the Giants 10-0 in the second. Texans lead the Saints 14-3 second quarter. Brian Hoyer, a touchdown pass to tight end Ryan Griffin. He also scored on a shovel pass to Cecil Shorts III to boost that margin 14.